Hello everyone. Now in this lecture we will be studying the topic pre-stressing, and the IS code that is to be referred for pre-stressing is IS 1343-2012. This is the latest revision for the IS code of pre-stressing, that is IS 1343-2012. Now pre-stressing means what? Pre-stressing is nothing but creation of permanent stresses in a structure for the purpose of improving its behavior and strength under various service conditions. The technical definition of pre-stressing is: pre-stressing means creation of permanent stresses in a structure for purpose of improving its behavior and strength under various service conditions. In short, in pre-stressing, prior to use of structure, permanent stresses are induced, and these stresses are induced with the help of pre-stressing cables. And the example of pre-stressing, you may see electric poles, next concrete railway sleepers, all the bridges or girders are mostly of pre-stressing technique in nowadays. Also you may see when large span is required without any interruptions, pre-stressed concrete slabs are preferred. Whenever large spans are required, that may be for seminar halls, auditoriums or etc., without any interruptions, that is without any intermediate columns, maybe in seminar halls or step halls, post-tension slab or pre-tension slab, depending upon the design condition, pre-stressing is adopted, and in this way we can get a thinner and stronger section as compared to RCC. The basic difference between pre-stressing section and RCC section is that in pre-stressing, prior to the use of the section or structural element, stresses are induced, and that is done by the pre-stressing cables. The system of pre-stressing and type of pre-stressing will be seeing in the upcoming time. Now in pre-stressing, for calculation of the stresses, that is sigma, bending formula, that is M by I is equal to sigma by Y is utilized, where M is nothing but moment, I is nothing but moment of inertia, sigma is nothing but stresses, and Y is nothing but distance from neutral axis to the extreme fiber. M is nothing but moment, I is nothing but moment of inertia, sigma is nothing but stress, and Y is the distance from neutral axis to extreme fiber. Now in this chapter, basically we are supposed to analyze the pre-stressed concrete section, that is nothing but pre-stressed concrete analysis, and stresses, that is sigma, is to be determined at the top extreme fibers. Top extreme fiber means nothing but, if this is the section, rectangular section, sigma at top extreme fiber means at this level, and sigma at bottom section, that is bottom extreme fiber, is to be determined. And if we simplify this formula, we can write as M into Y is equal divided by I. This will be the generalized formula to determine the stress may be at top or bottom extreme fiber. Now we know that section modulus is nothing but I by Y. Therefore we can substitute sigma is equal to M by Z, where Z is nothing but section modulus, and hence sigma can be determined by formula M by Z, where is nothing but M, that is moment, and Z is nothing but section modulus. Now in upcoming time frame we will be going in detail how these actual terms would be calculated. Now very next step will be to know the stress diagram. Very next step will be to know the stress diagram so as to determine the top extreme fiber stresses and bottom extreme fiber stresses. Maybe section may be symmetrical or unsymmetrical sections. Depending upon the type of section, stresses at top and bottom extreme fiber may vary. Now what actually will be the stress diagram in case of pre-stressing? Let us see. Now this is the stress diagram for pre-stressing, maybe rectangular or asymmetrical element, that is symmetrical or asymmetrical element. These are the various stress diagrams, first, second, third and fourth, and this is the resultant stress diagram. Now in pre-stressing concept, entire section is brought into the compression, hence this plus sign. That is, entire section will be in compression, hence it is nothing but pre-stressed section. Now let us see one by one. This is the element, and when pre-stressing force is applied to the cable, then stress at the extreme fiber will be P into E by Z, and stress at the top extreme fiber will be P into E divided by Z. Now basically, first of all, get cleared that P0 is nothing but final force induced into cable, and Pi is initial force applied into cable during pre-stressing. This is the final force. Now what is the difference between Pi and P0? In pre-stressing, usually losses takes place, and which will be the losses or what type of losses takes place and why it takes place will be seeing in the upcoming video lecture. For a while you just consider losses takes place and the symbol given is eta. Now if I consider 18% losses takes place, where initial pre-stressing force will be 1000 kilonewton, then P0 will be 1000 minus 18% of 1000, and this will come 820 kilonewton. Hence final force in the cable will be 820 kilonewton. Now what is this P into E by Z? In bending formula we have seen that sigma is equal to m by Z. Now moment is nothing but force into perpendicular distance, that is P into E by Z. Now how this P into E has arrived? Now if you consider this beam, this is the cable, this is neutral axis, and this is longitudinal section of the beam. This is the neutral axis, and eccentric cable is placed. Now when pre-stressing force is applied to this cable will come in tension, and this is nothing but the force P applied to the cable. Now what will the perpendicular distance? Perpendicular will be distance will be the according to the or in respect with neutral axis, and that is nothing but eccentricity E. And during the design, depending upon the bending moment nature, profile of this cable varies. In upcoming video lecture we will see how the profile of the section varies. For a while you consider pre-stressing force P for the cable is applied, and cable is located at an eccentricity of E. Hence moment here will be P into E. Hence here it is substituted, moment is equal to P into E. Now this is the condition when pre-stressing force is applied. After pre-stressing force is applied, due to dead load of the section, some stresses changes will take place, And what will be that? That will be nothing but mg by z b and mg by z t. Now here zb and zt is nothing but section modulus at bottom, and zt is nothing but section modulus at top. Hence to the suffix we have written mg by zt and mg by zb. Here we have recommended or used notation mg, that is moment due to dead load, and mq is nothing but moment due to live load. Now depending upon various reference book, these notations may change. Hence here we are using mq for moment due to live load and mg moment due to dead load. And here stress changes will take place due to live load. Hence mq by zb, that is extreme fiber stress at bottom, and mq by zt, that is extreme section modulus at top. And when we calculate the resultant, that is P0A minus P into E by Z plus mg by zt plus mq by zt, here we will get some stress value and it will be in positive, hence denoting entire section is in compression at the top. And when we calculate the resultant stress at bottom, that is P0A by plus P into E by Z minus mg by zb minus mq by zb, will get some positive value or 0, denoting that extreme fiber stresses at the bottom is in compression. Or if 0 comes, then it is neither in compression nor in tension, depending upon the values. Hence here the stress diagrams will arise due to dead load and live load. Hence the stress diagram will arise due to dead load and live load. Now what actually this plus and minus sign denotes? Now according to our considerations, plus denote the section at the bottom is in compression here and section at the top here is in tension. Whereas when dead load is applied, section at the bottom comes in tension and section at the top comes in compression. And when live load is acting on the structure, section at the top comes in compression, whereas section at the bottom comes in tension, that is minus sign. And here we have considered to the right side compression and to the left side tension, where negative sign is considered for tension and positive for compression. Resultant stress diagram of this will be entire positive, means entire section is in compression. Now let us see how section comes in compression or tension as per our pre-stressing or stress diagram during the pre-stressing. If this is the beam considered and this is the neutral axis of the section, and if our cable is placed at an eccentricity E, this is the nature. Now depending upon the bending moment diagram, for example this is the simply supported beam and point load is applied, hence bending moment diagram will be of such case. And to counteract this bending moment diagram, equal and opposite bending moment should be applied, and this moment will be applied in this manner. If this is the beam, to counteract this bending moment, cable profile will be triangular in nature. Hence this bending moment will be counteracted by such cable profile, and here pre-stressing force will be applied. Now let us see simple example. If this is the your beam, this is the cable profile parabolic. Now this case will come when bending moment is parabolic in nature. Now if this is your cable profile and when pre-stressing force is applied, this section will get compressed and the resultant section will be in such manner. That is, section or bottom fibers will come in compression and top fibers will come in tension. Hence negative here and positive here. This is the case when pre-stressing force P is applied to the cable here. This section will get compressed, and due to this, top of the fibers will come in tension and bottom fibers will come in compression. Now, as I have explained, here you can see top fibers will come in tension and bottom fibers will come in compression. Please note this. And after this will be the final nature of the beam. And when external loading is applied on the structure, maybe dead load and live load, then structure will come in this manner, or it will slightly deflect, and hence section at the top will be in compression, whereas section at the bottom will be in tension. Now, as I have mentioned, when external loading is applied, maybe dead load and live load, section at the top or stresses at the top fiber will be in compression and stresses at the bottom fiber will be in tension. And such case is, here you can see, when moment due to dead load and live load takes place, bottom fibers comes in tension and top fibers comes in compression, and resultant all of these stresses acting during the pre-stressing, and when section comes into the final stage, that is at dead load condition and live load condition, resultant stresses will be positive, that is entire section will be in compression, and hence this entire section that is in compression can be utilized. Whereas in case of RCC, only section above neutral axis is effective, whereas section below neutral axis is not effective, as in RCC tension will be carried only by reinforcement place. Such is not the case with pre-stressed structures. And this is the main motto in case of pre-stressing, where entire section comes in compression and which can be utilized fully. Now next comes why high grade of concrete and high grade of steel is to be utilized in case of pre-stressed concrete. Now basic thing is, the IS that is to be referred will be IS 1343/2012, that is Code of Practice for Pre-stressed Concrete. 2012 is the latest revision that is to be followed. Now as per IS code, minimum grade of concrete that is used for the post-tension beam or post-tension structural element is M30, that is M30, and minimum grade of concrete to be used for pre-tension element or structural element will be M40. Now this is the minimum criteria for the grade of concrete that is to be used for post-tension and pre-tension. Now due to high value of modulus of concrete, that is EC 5000 under root FCK, high grade of concrete and high grade of steel is to be utilized, that is we are using high grade of concrete. Also due to high strength of concrete, smaller section, smaller and effective sections could be achieved with respect to RCC. Also, as we have seen previously, some losses takes place, and average loss that takes place in case of pre-stressing is 300 MPa. Hence due to pre-stressing, total loss is near about 300 MPa. Hence high tension wires of FY 1750 MPa to FY 2100 MPa are to be utilized, because general conventional steel, the grade of steel is Fe 500, and which is not suitable in case of high grade steel that is to be used in pre-stress. Hence high grade steel of strength Fy 1750 or Fy 2100 MPa is to be utilized so as to counteract these losses and heavy forces induced into the section. Whereas high strength steel, that is Fy 1750 MPa or 2100 MPa, gives ultimate elongation, and this can be utilized for the pre-stressing of the cables. Also, high grade provides higher resistance to shear, tension, bond and bearing. Hence, to provide higher resistance to shear, tension, bond and bearing, high grade of steel and high grade of concrete is must in case of pre-stressed concrete. Now these are the basic considerations which suggest high grade of concrete is to be used and high grade of steel is to be used in case of pre-stressed concrete, and this is nothing but as per IS 1343/2012. Now let us see the basic difference between pre-stressed concrete and RCC concrete. Pre-stressed concrete and RCC concrete. First point of determination or differentiation will be grade. In case of pre-stressed concrete, higher grade, that is M30 to M40 concrete is used, whereas in case of RCC, M25, M20 grade of concrete is used. Nowadays, M25 grade of concrete is mostly preferred. Whereas if we consider steel properties, steel having Fy 1500 or say 1750 MPa to Fy 2100 MPa is utilized, and in case of RCC conventional structures, steel having grade Fe 500 or Fy 250 is utilized as per the design requirement. Now if we consider the effectiveness point of view, entire section is effective in case of pre-stressed concrete. Now as seen earlier, if neutral axis of the section is drawn, in case of pre-stressed concrete, entire section is effective, whereas in case of RCC concrete structure, only section above the neutral axis is effective, whereas section below the neutral axis is not effective, where the reinforcement provided plays a vital role and carries the entire tension coming due to the external loading. Now if cross section area is considered, then smaller cross sections can be achieved for same loading with respect to the same loading considered for RCC conventional structures. That is, smaller cross sections can be achieved for resisting bending moment and shear force, whereas for same bending and shear force, higher section is required in case of RCC structures. And if economy is considered, pre-stressed concrete structures, that is PSC, are economical for large span, whereas it is economical for small scale production and small section. And if serviceability point of view is considered, PSC structure gives less deflection and there are no cracks or say very less cracks, and comparatively more deflection and cracks are seen in case of RCC structure. If we consider safety point of view, resistance to the shock, repetitive loading and impact loading is more in case of pre-stressed structure, whereas comparatively resistance to shock, impact loading and repetitive is less in case of RCC structure. From corrosion point of view, PSC structure, that is pre-stressed concrete structures, are more effective or more resistant, whereas RCC structure are less resistant to corrosion. And design is complicated in case of pre-stressed concrete structure, where design is simple in case of normal RCC structures. These are the points of differentiation that is to be kept in mind, and these points are nothing but in differentiation of pre-stressed concrete and reinforced cement concrete. Now let us see pre-stressing. Now pre-stressing, as we have seen earlier, it is nothing but creation of permanent stresses into the structure for the purpose of improving its behavior and strength under various service conditions. This is nothing but pre-stressing prior to its service conditions. Now pre-stressing can be done by two methods, that is pre-tensioning or post-tensioning. Now pre-tensioning is nothing but stressing of cables is done before concreting, and in post tensioning, stressing of cables is done after concreting. This is the basic difference. In pre-tensioning, cables are stressed before concreting, and in post tensioning, cables are placed after concreting. Now basic steps will be laying reinforcement, laying of cables, next tensioning of cables, that is nothing but pre-stressing force is applied here, then concreting, and when 75% strength of concrete is achieved, then demolding is done. Whereas in case of post tensioning, reinforcement is laid, ducts and cables are placed, concreting is done, and when 75% concrete strength is achieved, then pre-stressing is done. This is the basic difference between pre-tensioning and post-tensioning. Now get clear that pre-stressing is a different concept, whereas pre-tensioning and post-tensioning comes under pre-stressing. In pre-tensioning, stressing of the cables is done before concreting, where in post-tensioning, stressing of the cables is done after concreting. And de-shuttering in case of pre-tensioning is done when 75% strength of the concrete is achieved, whereas de-shuttering in case of post-tensioning is done when, pre-stressing force to the cable is applied when 75% of the concreting strength is achieved. This is nothing but basic difference between pre-tensioning and post-tensioning. Now during explanation previously, you have most time heard that cables are placed or cables are pre-stressed. Now what actually this cable is? Now cable is nothing but made up of wire, strands and tendons. Now what is wire? Pre-stressing wire is a single unit made up of steel, and this steel is of grade of 1500 MPa to 2100 MPa, or say from 1750 MPa to 2100 MPa. This is the grade of steel that is utilized, and single wire is of this grade. Now wire may be straight or twisted. The wire may be straight or twisted. Basically, if this is the wire, that is single wire placed centrally, and remaining wires are twisted around this, hence number of wires brought together forms strand. When number of wires brought together, or when number of wires are wound together around this straight wire, it forms strand. And basically strands are of 12 by 7 or 12 by 5. Now what actually this combination means, that is 12/7 or 12 by 5. Here 12 is nothing but number of wires. Here 12 is nothing but number of wires, and 7 is nothing but each wire of 7 mm 5. That is 12 by 5 is nothing but 12 wires of 5 mm 5. That is 5 mm diameter. That is diameter of each wire is 5 mm. Here diameter of each wire is 7 mm. Hence 12/7 denotes 12 number of wires wound together, and diameter of each wire is 7 mm. Whereas 12/5, that is 12 by 5, denotes 12 wires wound together, and each wire is of diameter 5 mm. Now when these number of strands are brought together, this forms a tendon. Get noted that wire, when number of wires are brought together, it forms strands, and when number of strands are brought together, it forms tendon. Hence a group of strands or wires is nothing but tendon. That is, when group of strands are wound together, it forms a tendon, and when number of tendons are brought together or wound together, it forms cable. Hence a group of tendon is called as cable. Now have a look. If this is the cable, then these are nothing but the tendons inside it. This is the cable, these are the tendons. Now how these tendons are formed? These tendons are formed by number of strands and wires inside it. Hence number of wires forms strand, number of strands bound together forms tendons, and number of tendons bound together forms cable. This basic difference between wire, strand, tendon and cable should be noted down. For suspended bridges or suspension bridges, cables are used. In case of post-tension slab, tendons or strands are utilized. Also in case of PSC beam, that is pre-stressed beam, there may be tendons, strands or cables depending upon the load coming or depending upon the design criteria. These conditions or criteria may change. Hence get noted this basic difference between wires, strands, tendon and cable. Now let us see various stages of pre-tensioning. Pre-tensioning, as seen earlier, is nothing but tension is provided to the cable before concreting. Now what is the first step? That is anchoring of the tendons against the end abutment. Now consider, if this is the base, these are the end abutments placed, end abutments, and a cable is provided here, and simultaneously jacks will be provided. This is nothing but jack, and pre-stressing force P will be applied. As this is the concept of pre-tensioning, tension to the cable will be provided before concreting. This is the base, this is end abutment, and projected shape of the structure will be this one. And after tensioning is provided, concreting is done. Now this is the base slab, end abutments, this is the wire which is provided with pre-stressing force P, and then concreting is done. Now when this pre-stressing is done, care is taken that the tension in this wire don't get loosened. Hence here wedges are provided. Here wedges are provided, and these wedges helps in maintaining the position of the wires. And when 75% of the concrete strength is achieved, then at that time, this will be the case. These are the end abutments. When 75% of the concrete strength is achieved, then this tension cable is cut here. Now this was the previous concreted structure, and when these cables are cut here, after achieving the 75% strength, shape of these structural element will become somewhat like this. That is bottom part in compression and top part in section, as seen previously in the stress diagram. This is nothing but stages of pre-tensioning. Let us see again. Anchoring of the tendons against the end abutments, placing of the jacks. These jacks are placed, applying tension to the tendon, casting of the concreting, and at last cutting of the tendons when 75% of the concrete strength is achieved. This is nothing but in case of pre-tensioning. Now let us see stages of post-tensioning. Now in post-tensioning, concreting is done firstly, and when 75% of concrete strength is achieved, then pre-stressing force is applied to the cables. In short, procedure will be casting of the concrete, placement of the tendons, that is when reinforcement is laid, ducts are placed, tendons are placed into duct, then concreting is done. When 75% of concrete strength is achieved, then pre-stressing force, that is tension, is applied to tendons or cables, and at the last, after providing suitable tension to the cables as per the design requirement, tendons are cut down. That is placement of the anchorage block and jack. This anchorage blocks here will be, if this is the post tension beam, here will be the anchorage blocks, and here will be these wedges which restricts the cable from regaining its original position. After applying the pre-stressing force, this cable will get tensioned, and the wedges placed here will keep these tendons or cables in intact position, or the tension in the cable will be maintained. and afterwards the cable will be cut from here and this portion will be closed with the help of grout material. In this way post tension system is done. Now advantages of pre-stressed concrete over RCC. First one, it takes full advantage of high strength concrete and high strength steel. That is, in case of pre-stressed concrete, entire section is utilized, whereas in case of RCC, section below neutral axis is of no use. That is, reinforcement there only is utilized. Comparatively or in comparison with RCC structure, smaller and thinner section can be achieved for respective loading conditions. In case of pre-stressed concrete, there will be no or very few, you can say no, that is no cracks will be there. Pre-stressed concrete is better in corrosion resistance with respect to RCC. Pre-stressed concrete is better in corrosion with respect to RCC. Pre-stressed concrete is mostly good or utilized for water tanks and nuclear plants. This technique is mostly utilized for water tank and nuclear plants. PSC is most effective in deflection control. With respect to RCC structure, pre-stressed concrete structures are more effective in controlling the deflection, and this provides, or pre-stressed concrete provides, better resistance in bending and shear. Pre-stressed concrete provides better resistance in bending and shear as compared to RCC structures. When the loading is maximum, then pre-stressed concrete structure should be referred, as it may be economical, thinner sections may be achieved, or entire section of the concrete can be used for carrying the loads. In this way, we have seen the basic concept of pre-stressing. If you are having any doubt, do comment your doubts in the comment box, or you can go through these notes, and the link for the notes is provided in the description of this video. Thank you very much.